Welcome to my next Virginia waterfall hike and small water brook trout adventure. I'm back in the Shenandoah National Park today. I'm going to be hiking to Big Rock Falls. It's about a 3-mile down and back, and after the first half mile of the trail, it looks like we'll run into the river, which is Prong. That's the water we're going to be fishing today. But what I think is going to be one of the coolest things about today's hike is that about a half a mile further from the base of the waterfall is what used to be called Camp Rapidan, now is called Camp Hoover. President Herbert Hoover used to come out here for his weekend retreat and fly fish the area back in the early 30s. It looks like they later donated the cabin to the national park and they maintain it still. So it's not yet 6 a.m. I left the house about 2:30 to get here about sunrise. And my plan today is to hike down to the waterfall, check it out, and then fish that area between the waterfall and Camp Hoover. And then, hike it back up and fish all the spots that I didn't hit on the hike down. Looks like it's going to be another hot one today. Yesterday it got into the 90s. I don't think it'll be that hot here in the mountains, but I want to get most of the fishing done before lunchtime, and then if it's not too bad, we'll fish into the afternoon. Now, it is really a beautiful area here. Seen lots of wildlife already. In fact, there go a couple of deer, 2 does and a fawn, just walking, looking right at me. So I'm planning on having a good hike today and hopefully a good day of fishing. Let's go get after it. All right, the trail is looking pretty good so far. Pretty steep gradient walking downhill this first half mile or so, which means it's going to be a fun walk hiking out at the end of the day. Now, I wasn't the only car parked at the trailhead, but I'm pretty sure I'm the first hiker walking this trail because I have already walked through a dozen spider webs. Guess I could grab a stick, knock them down as I walk, but that's a lot of work. I'll just keep breaking through them with my face. And I can hear some water. So we're getting close, at least to the first small tributary crossing. Well, I am here, and apparently I walked right past Big Rock Falls, plus it was more like a big rock cascade. I'll get some footage of it when we hike it and fish it on the way back up. But right now, I am sitting on the front porch of the Brown House. This was President Hoover's weekend retreat, get away from the White House at Camp Rapidan, which is really a pretty cool place. There are several buildings here, lots of old architecture and kind of ruins, I guess. I've got Prong right there in front of me coming down, and the water looks pretty good right here. Got Laurel Prong back behind me. Their confluence forms the Rapidan, so I've got a lot of area around here I can fish. So I'm rigged up, ready to go. I'm going to go with a 6.5-foot fiberglass 2-way today. You got a 5X leader. Don't need to go down to 6X. I'm finding these fish aren't all that picky. I mean, they're kind of wary, but if you get a good drift and a decent looking fly over them, you got a good chance of catching them. It's not even 8 a.m., so I've got several hours before it gets too warm to fish this afternoon. So let's go get after it. All right, that looks like a decent sized pool. Let's go up here and check it out. And I don't have a lot of overhead room to cast, but I can get up here and keep low sidearm cast maybe. Gotta watch these trees. There was one. Couldn't tell how big. I don't think he was too big. But I had him on for a second. There he is. All right, he's okay. And he's off. I got a good look at him though, maybe 7 inches. So he was on long enough that he is not coming back up anytime soon. So we can get on up in here a little farther. There's one. Oh, and he's decent. Look at that. Oh, and I let him get off. I'll be damned. That was, he wasn't fighting like crazy, but he looked to be like 9 inches. So, all right, well, maybe there's something else in here. Far up in that tree. There's one. Oh, and I let him get off. So I think that was a different fish. So there's at least 2 fish in this hole. And I have hooked them both. I don't think that was the same one. All right, there's a good looking pool up there. It's pretty wide, maybe it's deep, we'll see in a minute. Cross the bridge and get to it from this side. All right, it looks like it might have a little depth. Where do I want to approach it? Probably not straight ahead. That I would be too exposed. Let's go down here amongst these rocks. And then I can sneak up there probably on my knees. Get some casts under these tree branches here. All right, let's do this. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of room to cast here. I'm on my knees and I'm in shorts, so this isn't real comfortable. All right, this is going to be a clown show here, me trying to cast to this. I'm probably going to be all up in these trees before you know it. Not much movement on the surface right there, so let's go a little farther in, or a little bit to the left. After I cover this close water, I can get a little bit farther up in there. There we go. There we go, he's on there. Not big, but he came up there right where I was expecting he might. All right. Don't need the net for this guy. He's not even 6. There we go, can you see that little guy right there? All right, let's get back in the water, buddy. There's a little take, I think. Oh, that was a big take. Oh, let's rest him a minute and see if he'll come back up for it. Oh, and another take. That, maybe it was the same fish, but it was about 10 feet away, so I'm thinking it's not. Let me see if I can sneak up here just a little closer. That was a pretty good take. He came up and swiped at it, then came back for it a second time. So I'll give him a few seconds before I go back over there. All right, don't think we're gonna get either of these guys. Let's walk up to this next pool. There was a decent take. Felt the tug for a second, so I might have put him down. There he is. Yeah, wow, this guy's pretty. Not big, but he's got some bright colors there. Can you see that? All right, well, get on back in there, buddy. There we go, there's one. And he got off. Well, I'm not finding a lot of deep pools. I'm finding a few that are a little bit wider, but none of them very deep. Here's one that might hold something. It's, you know, looks to be a couple feet deep and pretty big, so this one looks promising. Let's go give it a shot. There we go. All right. And I lost him. First cast in this hole. He came up in some pretty deep water. And again, I didn't set the hook hard. That guy wasn't huge, but he was all right. There we go. All right, and this guy's on there. All right, let's net this guy if I can get my net. All right, wow, a lot of orange on him. Very nice. And I'm in a tree up there. All right, here. We'll get out of the tree in a second. All right, about what I'm getting today. Pretty little 6-incher. Got a lot of pretty orange on him. Check out those fins. Wow, beautiful fish. All right, get on back in there, buddy. All right, this looks like a potential pool, but can't just walk right up to it. It's pretty small. So I'm gonna go up here and get behind this rock. Do I have anywhere to cast? No. I'm gonna just try anyway. Oh, some little takes, so it tells me only little guys in this one. And now I'm in that tree right there. Did have somebody ask last video, do you ever get stuck in the trees? And I'm like, dude, I live in the trees. Some of these holes, I've been in the trees more than I've been in the water. So yeah, I get in the trees all the time. I just don't usually show you those clips. All right, I am about back to the waterfall. Been a couple hours downstream. Haven't gotten a lot, got a couple, but waterfall is just 50 yards or so up there to the left. Before we do that and stop and break for our mid-morning lunch, I guess, let's hit a couple of these pools right here. We got some fast riffles and some water up here that I might be able to pull something out of here with this little dry fly. All right, let's go give it a shot. Let's hit this little run right here. There's one. Is he still on there? Yes, he is. Oh, and look at this. Decent fish. Holy cow. Wow, look how pretty this guy is. All right, hook's already out of him. See if I can hold him up for the camera right there. Can y'all see that? Yes. That is a good 9 inches right there. Pretty fish. All right, get on back in there, buddy. Ooh, that was a nice take. I know there's gonna be something in this pool. This is a big pool. Too big of one not to have some fish living in here. Oh, another take. Probably the same guy. Question, will he come up 3 times or is there anybody else living in this pool? I'm gonna rest him a minute, fish over here to the left. Look at that, all right. I don't know if this is the same guy or not. I cast it about 6 feet to the left, so it may be the same guy, could be a different one. All right, let's get this guy back in the water. All right, hook's out and he's back in the water. All right, I didn't get a chance to hold him up for the camera, but he was probably about 7. Had a lot of nice colors though. All right, well, I see the waterfall. Let's go have our mid-morning lunch. All right, I'm back at the waterfalls. That's Big Rock Falls right behind me. Not all that big, but it's decent looking. And I was about to have to take my lunch break and talk about how disappointing the last couple of hours have been, how literally I had probably 20 takes, a dozen hookups, and only 4 fish for it. And none of those were very big. But then in the last 10 minutes, I got 2 decent fish right here, just downstream of the waterfall. So I'm gonna take my lunch break right now, probably fish the big pool at the bottom of the waterfall, might throw a streamer in there, and then just hike back to the truck and hit any of the pools that I didn't hit on the way down, which is all of them because I didn't fish on the way down. All right, I'll see you after lunch. So nothing at the base of the waterfall with that little streamer. So I'm back to dry flies and I got a few good looking pools next 100 yards or so. Let's go give these a shot. All right, could be a decent looking pool right up here. See if we can get to it. Oh yeah, not very big, but it's big enough that it might be holding a fish. Let's stand right here, maybe go, we can get up a little bit and hit it. Yeah, let's give this a shot. All right, There we go. Oh yeah. All right, I don't want to just hook fin him up here, but let me get him in the net real quick. All right, there we go. He's fine. Wet my hand here, flies out of him. Another about 7 inches, not quite to the watch band, but pretty little fish. Thank you there, buddy. Get on back in there. All right, it has been about an hour since lunch. Couple of takes, one fish, been kind of slow. So I think I'm gonna start hiking back to the truck. If I see any spots worth stopping for, I'll stop and give them a shot, but I don't think there's gonna be a whole lot. It's about 12:30 and it's starting to warm up pretty good, so might be about time to wrap it up. Oh wait, name the tune. Almost forgot. I picked this one on the drive out this morning. Okay, here's how this goes. I'm going to say a lyric, and you guys just, if you want a chance to win a Savage Flies hat, not this hat, but a Savage Flies hat, just leave a comment with the name of the song. All right, are y'all ready? This is another one from my top 10 of all time. Here goes. There are stars in the southern sky, southward as you go. All right, who knows that? I bet you'd know the song if you heard somebody sing those lyrics. I am not going to sing them. I'm just going to say them. But anyway, if you're in the U.S., leave a comment if you know the name of that song. And if you don't, look it up. I don't care. It's not cheating. Or look to see what the other folks said. Just leave a comment. That's what I'm trying to get you to do. Trying to get some engagement here. And if anybody's watched this video this long, give you a chance to win a cool hat. All right, this is a decent looking hole with 2 more up above it. So let's sneak on in here. Don't have to be too stealthy. I can cast from back here and just see if there's anything in here. There we go, look at that. There we go, he's nice. Let's get this guy in the net. All right. Okay, only 6% battery remaining. This hole looks pretty decent, this pool. I can kind of sneak up here in the middle and hit both sides of it. Do I have any room to back cast? A little bit, but not that much. If I come over here, I might. Look at that, there we go. There's a decent fish. Decent for today anyway. All right, let me just climb up here. It's gonna be the only one I get out of this hole anyway. Wow, a lot of bright orange on this guy. Not very big, but beautiful little brook trout. See that? All right, get on back in there, buddy. Oh yeah, look at that, look at that. Nice fish. Which has been the standard for the day. The first drift through a hole, if it's got a fish, they're gonna come up and take it. Of course, they've all been these little 6 or 7 inchers, but they're fun little fish. All right, get on back in there, buddy. All right, that was probably the last diversion of the day. 2 little guys in like 5 minutes. So that was kind of cool. But we still got a long hike back to the truck. Oh boy. All right, quick outro because it is raining and I'm about back to the truck. That 1.8 mile hike uphill back to the trailhead was pretty tough. But Big Rock Falls, it was okay. Wasn't amazing, but it was all right. Mill Prong, the fishing, that was pretty good. It was a little bit slow at first and kind of slow all day, but I ended up with, I don't know, 11 or 12 fish, most of them about 6 inches or so. I got the one 9-incher right before lunch. So overall, pretty fun trip. I'm glad I did it. So that's it, everybody. Appreciate you watching. See you next time.